Alright, this is Coburn Mountain in Jackman, Maine. This is going to be a ride from the bottom all the way to the top, non-stop. As you can see, the conditions were very clear, and it was about 10 degrees. Wind was about 15 to 20 miles an hour, so wind chill probably around 10 below. This first section is really bumpy until you get up to the halfway mark, which is where there's a plateau. This was filmed with a GoPro Hero 6 with the advanced stabilization, so the picture is still relatively clear. I was standing up for lots of this in order to absorb some of the bumps, but this is the best stabilization I've had with any of my GoPro cameras. The sled I'm using is a 2013 Arctic Cat 1100 Turbo Snow Pro with 10,000 miles on it. Getting up into more snow on the trees now at this elevation. It's like riding through a tunnel right here. It's awesome. At this point, the trees are almost completely white. We're almost at the halfway mark, and there was a sled coming back down as I approached the halfway part. Two-up sled that went up to the plateau. I'll get here, I'll hesitate for a second. You can see the summit up on the top right, and that's where we're heading. This climb is total 1.5 miles from the bottom to the top, and we're about halfway. There's some flat section through here. It's still bumpy, but it doesn't climb for a little bit here. Where I meet my first group of 4 sleds coming back down. I had no idea how many were up there, but luckily it was a spread spot where I could stop before it gets steep. So I didn't know if there was any more, but I figured I'd give it a try. So there's a few steep sections to this climb coming up. One is at the end of this little straightaway. You take a right-hand turn. Somebody left their glove right there on the trail. Here comes your first part of the climb where you got to accelerate so you don't spin in this section. You'll see here where sleds have spun and dug the snow down. Right here. And then, a surprise, more sleds coming down. Slow it down so you can see this guy. He's giving me the 4 to go and he's sliding past me. This is about the steepest part of the entire climb. So I look back to see if there's any room for me to back up. So I slowly let the brake off and let it back down as these guys are still sliding past me. I thank them for giving me the sign of how many were left. This guy says he's the last one, so at least I know I'm not going to hit anybody, but I was afraid I was just going to get stuck right here. The sled spun for a while, but it did get going, and then it gets really steep and rutted right here too. Point, there's pretty good visibility, so you don't worry about running into somebody head on. We're nearing the summit. This was a perfect day to climb. It was just so scenic up there today. There you have it. That's the summit of Coburn Mountain.